Okay, so we're just getting right into the Raider game, just straight fucking into it. I mean, there's no other way to cope anymore. I have to bring it back. I just have to. So, this week on I'm All Out of Painkillers, the Las Vegas Raiders face their greatest adversary thus far. In this week's Tank Bowl, the Cleveland Browns were their opponent. A team with coaching issues beyond comprehensible. One of the worst organizations in professional sports, and a major quarterbacking change on the horizon. Despite Deshaun Watson finally traveling with the team this week, I can't imagine why. Surely it has nothing to do with this being Vegas, but he's not playing quite yet. No, it's Shedeur Sanders' time. The youngling who fell in the draft past his potential landing spot with the Raiders was set to make the Raiders regret not taking him with his dazzling play, and the game went fucking horribly. I'm so numb it doesn't even hurt anymore. It doesn't, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this is actually the worst season I've ever watched us have, and it's not super close either. I mean, we're getting sympathy from Browns fans. We've allowed 20 sacks in the last 3 games, and right now we have a worse SRS score than our 2006 team, one of the worst teams of all time. And as of now, since 2001, no team has scored less points than the 2025 Raiders, who have Brock fucking Bowers and Ashton Genty. I broke character again. A common folly, but for our failure, the chipster was thrown into the axe grinder, and the highest paid coordinator in football was fired. Does this fix anything? No, but mercy was given, and we just got obliterated by Cleveland. Shedeur played a fine game. He didn't even do anything that crazy, but just doing research for this game past what was on the surface level was just depressing. I looked at Will Putnam's PFF grade. I just picked a random lineman on our team to see what was going on, and he has a grade of 35 and a pass blocking grade of 10. Fucking 10! For reference on how awful that is, Trevor Penning is bottom 10 in passing grade, and he's at a 48 total. I mean, this is a team that is so beyond shit that we got blown out by a team that didn't break 20 points for almost a year straight and started a rookie quarterback who was coming off of the worst performance of all time. And all of this is really just another day in the office for the Las Vegas Raiders. So tune in next week on The Government Needs to Invent a New Addictive Drug for Me to Feel Anything Anymore. I hope you guys are enjoying these meltdowns, because it's not even fucking scripted at this point. I've never had my loyalty tested more, I'll say that. Now we can get into the Thursday game, huh? And that was truly a football game. It feels like this game happened about 3 weeks ago, but look, everyone's gonna sound the bells for the Josh Allen and Bills panic train, right? I mean, yeah, there's something to that to some extent. Josh Allen had his worst game of the season. 67.4 was his lowest passer rating in the year, and he had 0 passing touchdowns for the second time all season, and the other was in a blowout win versus the Jets. But I think the biggest issue with Buffalo is just the lack of offensive talent. I mean, it'd be nice if Keon Coleman could set his fucking alarm and not play with himself in the bathroom stall instead of going to meetings, but that's wishful thinking, and even Khalil Shakir is just Adam Humphries with a little more sauce. The point I'm trying to make is, with Josh Allen alone, and sometimes James Cook, you can't beat most good teams. And the Texans, well, they at least have a good defense. And all day, Houston's defense just had the Bills and Josh Allen in hell. They got 8 sacks, forced 3 turnovers, and Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter were just unstoppable all game. And hey, all of a sudden, Davis Mills is 3-0. He's not good, and he's not playing very well, but 3-0 is 3-0. And the Texans are still screwed for the division, but they're right there in the wild card race. And so is Buffalo now, especially with New England not stopping at all. So things are going to get interesting pretty much immediately. Well. You thought they'd be dead, huh? This was supposed to be the game. The Chiefs aren't contenders anymore. Hell, they won't even make the playoffs. Jonathan Taylor's going to go for 150 and eliminate them for good. Well, guess what? The best team in the AFC just lost to the Chiefs, and they're not going anywhere. Now, I really don't give a singular shit whether the Chiefs make the playoffs or not. I really don't. But I really felt like this game gave off AFC Championship vibes. Did y'all feel that too? I mean, in terms of vibes, not level of ball, because both teams were messing up. Early on, the Chiefs were burying themselves in mistakes and penalties, while the Colts also had 8 penalties for 63 yards at halftime. Well, in the second half, it was the Colts offense being incompetent and just was never able to break through the Chiefs defense. Now, this is what I was worried about. The Steelers really gave the NFL the game plan on how to beat the Colts, and people are using it. If you stop Jonathan Taylor and don't let the Colts play from a massive lead, they are very beatable, and this game was just that. Although Kansas City's offense did a lot of goofing around and Mahomes was inconsistent for sure, he made plays when they mattered most. He had a massive 4th and 3 to Rashee Rice, which I'll always say is his superpower, converting like 3rd and 4s, and they had another 3rd and 7 dagger to Xavier Worthy, and the Chiefs keep their season alive. Legitimately, the year would have been over for the Chiefs if they lost this game, but at this point the division is still out of the question, and winning on the road is going to be tough no matter what in the playoffs, but hey man, like I said last week, Kansas City versus Indy in the playoffs? I don't know who I'd take, and now I think I do though. And the Colts in this game did well on defense for the most part. Ward and Sauce were a hell of a duo, and remember this was also without DeForest Buckner too, so they deserve credit for stifling the Chiefs offense. It's just, Daniel Jones needed to lock in a bit more. And in the end, Kansas City's defense really deserves most of the credit here, so really excited to see Mahomes holding another one in February. I just don't get it at this point. How do the Bears keep winning? Since week 4, ignoring the Saints win, because it's the Saints, they've won 6 games, and in those 6 wins, they've won by a combined 16 points. Like, whatever, I don't even want to try and fight against what the Bears are doing. Maybe if I stop talking about it, they'll collapse, but I don't know. They did it again. All 3 starting linebackers for the Bears were gone in this game, and with their 7th-string linebacker, they won. Now, to be fair, Mason Rudolph is truly a quarterback of all time, but the Steelers should have still won this game, especially with how this game started out. Caleb made a textbook Caleb play where he held onto the ball for 5 fucking seconds, counted out loud, it was like that long, ran backwards and fell down basically in the end zone. Like, you can't do that, man, and he should have had a few picks this game, especially that one bad one before the half to Kyle Duggar, but all things considered, Caleb played better as the game went on, and I feel like he's getting a better grip of this offense as time goes on as well. He still needs to fix his bad habits, but shit, it's looking like Caleb and Ben Johnson are going to be together for a while. I mean, I'm convinced. I think the culture is different forever in Chicago, and the Ben Johnson era is truly going to be an era for the Bears. But they did still give up 21 points to Mason fucking Rudolph in the first half alone. And if they were playing like the Lions, I think they would get blasted for 60. But instead, they played against Mason Rudolph, like I said, and that's kind of it. Jalen Warren was banged up, Rodgers was out, DK Metcalf went out in this game, but the Bears pulled it out again for like the 8th time this year too, and all you can say is a win, and they're still in first place in the division, so yeah, I guess we'll see how long they can go before it just unravels, but their future's bright, and playoff experience will be something, even if they go one and done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any given Sunday, huh? Well, I was not excited for a lot of games from this early slate, but damn it, man, they turned out to be pretty damn fun. Jameis Winston was finally unleashed. They let him throw the damn ball, and he had another classic Jameis game. I mean, his resume is looking beautiful. I can't believe this motherfucker was a 3rd-string quarterback, and in this one, Jameis had near 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, a near 100 passer rating, and caught a fucking touchdown too, beating a DB one-on-one, and Derek, brother, come on now, you can't be getting mossed by Jameis, are you serious? Now this would be concerning, but we're talking about the Lions offense, and they can go blow for blow with any offense in the league. Kinda. I don't know, I've become way more worried about the offense for the last few weeks, and since Dan Campbell took over play calling, things haven't been much better, but in this one, they were able to do whatever they wanted in the majority of the second half, and Jahmyr Gibbs is good at fucking football. Dude had like a top 20 fantasy performance ever, and the Giants just were not going to win a war of attrition with Detroit. It wasn't possible. But this, again, is a perfect loss for the Giants. They played a fun game. They ended up getting their defensive coordinator fired, so that's, a positive. I mean, it's just crazy that their defense is this bad with such an amazing pass rush, and we got to see Jameis do Jameis things. And the Lions avoided a potential, like, season-ending loss versus a dog shit team, so that's good too. Guys, that's it. It's over. I tried to be nice for weeks now, but that's the nail in the coffin. Not even the nail in the coffin. Like, there was poisonous gas dumped into that coffin, and J.J. McCarthy is getting buried alive. It's over for him as a star quarterback. Now, let me just make this clear for people saying this online. There is a huge difference between, like, J.J. McCarthy and Cam Ward's situation. One team is a bottom one team I've ever watched, has a shit offensive line, 0 run game, Van Jefferson as their wide receiver 1, and no defense, while the other has the best player on earth as his top weapon, a great tight end, a great second option, a solid line, fine run game, and a great defense. And is still shit. While the other, Cam Ward, just went out there and played the best game of the season against the best defense in the league and has improved by the week and shows so much potential. Anyways, it's not even that J.J. McCarthy is shit, it's that he hasn't improved whatsoever, and he's so consistently inconsistent. I mean, they trailed this entire game, and he still couldn't muster 100 passing yards, and he threw 2 picks miraculously somehow. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is so clearly trying to hide him all he can, and we're at a point where Justin Jefferson is simply not having fun playing football. His season is a wash, and it's just crazy, because this dude is in his prime, and he's having his career wasted because of historically shit QB play. And it's fucking time to be evil to him, man. I mean, I don't care. He has every resource at his disposal, and he still fails. Kevin O'Connell fixed Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, and he can't even get J.J. McCarthy to throw a fucking slant route. But in terms of EPA per game, this motherfucker J.J. McCarthy is at the same level of Josh Rosen and Andrew Walter. For those of you who know who Andrew Walter is, that should say all you need to know. But like, Jamarcus Russell, Tim Tebow, and Johnny Manziel have been infinitely more efficient than him so far in his career. This dude is making his own charts for how awful he's been. And in the second half of this Packers game alone, he led the offense to -1 total yards. -1! That's all I can say. And yet, like, yeah, he's got a concussion, I guess. Sure. I'm sure he's so injured. And yeah, maybe he'll suffer a fucking season-ending concussion. I can't talk anymore, bro. I've said enough. But congratulations, Green Bay. You blew out a team finally. Good shit.
I feel really fortunate to have kind of found myself in this situation.
Huh? Why was this the game where Drake May struggled? I'm confused. When you look at Drake May's stats, remember, this is a guy who's been a legitimate MVP candidate. His 2 worst games are versus us and the Bengals. The Raiders and the Cincinnati Football Bengals. A team setting records for blown coverages, points allowed, and fucks given. But whatever, what do I know about football? Is it concerning it took Flacco to play awful in his last Bengals game? Probably, with Joe Burrow coming back. A Jamar Chase suspension, a T. Higgins, Yossi Voss, and Noah Fant injury to win this game? Probably. But I do feel like the Patriots' injuries also had a lot to do with it, as their whole offensive line pretty much got injured, with Will Campbell going down especially. But to make things clear, Drake May was nowhere near, like, bad. He just made more mistakes than usual. But even not being on your A game is enough to beat the 2025 Bengals. And for Cincy, I mean, your season's over, and bringing Joe Burrow back literally has no, like, objective positives from a team standpoint. For the draft pick, it's not worth it. For the injury risk, it's not, but I guess you gotta sell more tickets, so there's that. And New England is going straight for that 1 seed. Are they as good as a normal 1 seed? No, but they just might get it.
You know, that has nothing to do with no injury.
Let's just not talk about the first half, right, Baltimore? I mean, I don't know what the fuck that was. Lamar had like 7 passing yards before that last drive in the second quarter, but you know, I don't know, man. I guess they ended up winning. It's just kind of weird because we're at a point where things have completely flip-flopped, and the Ravens' defense might be the strength of their team, but I don't know. Lamar might have some concerns going forward. I don't know what's going on with his lack of dynamic use of their weapons in this offense, but let's wait for them to play a real contender, and we'll see what happens, because good fucking God, man, Really? It took a nail-biter versus Tyrod Taylor? And John Mechie? Well, I was expecting 28-0 in the first half again, and that was the most shocking first drive of the season. I did not expect Cam Ward to go right down the field on the fucking Seattle Seahawks defense, but it happened. And yeah, from there, Sam Darnold locked in. He threw an absolute dime to JSN for a 63-yard touchdown, and the game was just over from there. Seattle just, made it closer than I like, I guess. The score still did not reflect the actual domination of this game from the second and third quarters, but still, honestly, like I said earlier, this was Cam Ward's best game of the season. Given the opponent, given how he had zero offensive help, with literally no receivers active, he did a great job out there. Seriously, making this game somewhat competitive was beyond what I thought possible. So again, just credit to Cam Ward, and Seattle took care of business as they were expected to, so I guess good shit to them too. This was big for Sam Darnold's confidence.
What the fuck? You gotta be fucking kidding me!
See, Dallas, I told you, just because you beat us, it doesn't mean shit, alright? Philly's the big dog on the block, okay? They're gonna put a swift end to your hype instantly. Philadelphia all day. I mean, they can't guard A.J. Brown at all. The play calling's actually getting more creative, and Philly's just, all they have to do is keep their foot on the gas, or else things might fall apart, but they'd never do that. This team surely wouldn't blow this entire fucking game versus a rival in a must-win game and suffer their worst loss since that season. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles, a team that told a cautionary tale, if you remember. They did not have a good coaching staff or a culture of winning, and it turns out the story told is that you will suffer the consequences from that, and they suffered a very similar loss that season when they lost a deflating one to the 49ers, and it was clear that they just weren't on the same level as a true Super Bowl contender. And this game was similar to that game to me. Not because they weren't on the same level as Dallas, but this is the game where I realized, oh, history's just going to repeat itself, isn't it? And coaching is going to be the death of this team, and it already fucking has been. Because like I said, the Cowboys could not even dream of stopping A.J. Brown, and Philly just stopped throwing it to him. They just quit and said, hey, we have a lead. We might as well just turtle up and fucking assume that 21 points is enough, and they blew the whole thing. Their last 8 drives led to 6 first downs and 0 points. This was their first blown 21-point plus lead since Andy Reid's first game coaching the team. The offense abandoned the run, played from behind the sticks, and this was all versus a bottom 5 defense, and the Dallas team that didn't even look very good, to be honest with you. Dallas was killing themselves early. They had so many mistakes. CD dropped like 10 passes, but damn man, Dak Prescott is so good. He had 350 yards and pieced up an elite Eagles defense, or at least fucking supposedly good defense. I mean, fucking 500 yards allowed damn near is not it, but it's just, it's not okay, man. It's not. And this is it for Philly. They need a leader to step up and save their season, or else this shit is gonna spiral out of control and go so far into the shitter that 2023 might not even be the standard for how to collapse anymore. I've seen it too many fucking times. Fix it now, Philly. I don't think you can. I think it's over. I don't see this team winning the Super Bowl. They just don't have it this year. Besides the fact that they have the best roster in the league still, but we'll just ignore it for now. But good shit, Dallas. Your season is alive, so, enjoy Eagles fans melting down for the week, as they should be.
God damn it!
Well, let's just ignore that this game happened, right, Jacksonville? I mean, fucking hell. This is literally textbook Jaguars football. Trevor Lawrence had 3 of the worst drives of the season and then 3 of the best. I genuinely think if they played any team other than the Titans or us, this would be an L. But they played the Arizona Cardinals, who are one more team to add to that duo of dog shit, and they just are horrible. I don't know what else to say. Yes, Trevor Lawrence ended up battling. I respect the adversity, but he's the one who dug the hole in the first place. It's not okay, bro. You think you can be a contender like this? No, you can't. When you're battling with teams like the Chiefs and the Texans for the last wildcard spot, I'm sorry, you're just not going to get there. Yes, they beat the Chiefs, but this is not the same team that beat that Kansas City team. And again, it's like there's a Chiefs effect. For some reason, every team plays their best football versus the Chiefs. So can you just do that next week and we can forget this game happened, please? I mean, Divine Diablo came back, and he just might be the best player of all time. I don't know what's going on, man. I mean, with him coming back, the Falcons' defense looked unstoppable as it did the first few weeks of the season. So maybe he was just the key to everything. And Kirk Cousins did enough, but yeah, at least they were able to handle a rookie quarterback. So that's good, Falcons. Congratulations. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I barely watched this game. It was a tank bowl and had no stakes. So, yeah, I guess congrats, Falcons. You won, and with Tampa Bay losing, who knows? They could run the table. Kirk Cousins is gonna run the table, I believe. Well, I think this is all the evidence I need to call the Rams the best team in football. They just absolutely hung dry Tampa Bay, who is a bit overrated, I think, in like power rankings. I think calling them a better team than like the Colts is absurd, but yeah, this was an utter demolition from the very beginning. Matthew Stafford he's gonna do it, man. He's really gonna win the MVP. Again, this game was never close. There's nothing to talk about here. Baker Mayfield got hurt, went back in, got hurt again, so that's just a decision from Todd Bowles. But yeah, it's not looking great for the Bucs going forward. They'll get Bucky Irving back next week, so that's good, but the Rams are just dominant, man. They are so fucking good, and if they can continue going forward like this, they're going to get that 1 seed. They're going to get a rest for their MVP quarterback. I still can't believe it, man. Matthew Stafford's really going to win the MVP. It just, God, it makes my 2012 brain so happy. Calvin Johnson somewhere is shedding tears of joy. Well, that's gotta be a bottom 10 Monday Night Football game I've ever watched. I mean, what the actual fuck was that? There was like a solid 9 consecutive drives that all ended with a horrible mistake from the offense. Like, Bryce Young could have walked in a touchdown and threw a pick. Brock Purdy threw 3 picks in the first half, and they were still winning. I mean, the Panthers literally didn't do a single positive thing on offense outside of that 1 touchdown throw to Ted. It's crazy that the Panthers even have a chance at the playoffs still. Insane. So I'm sorry. Like, I'm still just so far off the Panthers' hype train that's now crashed and burned at this point. But God, man, I mean, these were 2 bad football teams going at it. I don't know what else to say. At least the Panthers' defense tried until 8 of their players got hurt. So yeah, that's probably it for their playoff chances. And the Niners are going to be interlocked with the Bears and maybe even the Lions or the Cowboys for that last wild card spot. But for them, this is a huge win. But before we continue, you know what time it is. It's time for the TubFrog Discord Awards, where I turn to you, the people, to see what you thought were the best and worst plays and players from Week 12. And without further ado, let's begin, because I asked what you thought the best play was from Week 12, and this was never going to be close. It went to Jameis Winston just absolutely mossing a dude for a receiving touchdown. Just beautiful stuff. God, Jameis is just... There's no one like him on the field, man. And then I asked what you thought the worst play was from Week 12, and it went to Jerry Jeudy's fumble when he was stripped from behind. It was actually a good throw. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I almost appreciated it. And then I asked what you thought the best game was from Week 12, and this was the Giants vs. Lions, which is entirely fair. It was not that many great options here, but Colts Chiefs was fun too. And then I asked what the worst game was from Week 12, and it went to Bucs vs. Rams, which I guess is fair. It was never even remotely close, and for the primetime game, it was pretty disappointing. And then I asked who the best team was from Week 12, and it went to the Rams, which is also, like, pretty fair. I mean, they just went out there and slaughtered the Buccaneers. You could argue, like, the Cowboys, but... yeah, I think the Rams deserve it. And then I asked who you thought the worst team was from Week 12, and it went to the Vikings, who just got utterly blown out by the Packers, and J.J. McCarthy's career was absolutely cooked. So, need I say more? And then I asked who you thought the best player was from Week 12, and it went to Jahmyr Gibbs. Again, this one's a little bit more debatable, I guess, because, like, I mean, dude, like, Myles Garrett had 3 sacks, and this is like a down game for him, basically. Just insane shit. And then I asked who you thought the worst player was from Week 12, and this one wasn't even close. J.J. McCarthy is just inheriting Deshaun Watson's title from last year. In football terms, okay? And then I asked what you thought the best planet is. Your favorite planet, you know, but in terms of just pure preference. And it went to Earth. You know, I think I've heard of it. It's a little obscure planet, but not a bad choice. But anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, watch this video I did a few weeks back on the worst Super Bowl team of all time. It's pretty good, trust me. And thanks to all my patrons for pledging tiers. Truly does mean a lot, but anyways, Until next time.